Chris-Rachel with the Austin Post.
And I'm Gavin Stone with Fanboy TV, and on our South by Southwest Live coverage day, we are here with the people behind Root.
A disturbing movie.
It is quite a bit disturbing. So,
if anybody tells you it was actually a feel-good comedy, back out of the room.
They were
right
lying.
now.
Okay, so let's tell the audience a little bit, what is Root about?
So Root's about how love can actually kind of be a sickness in a way, and I wanted to take some of the emotional kind of trauma that we all suffer and kind of make it into a physical experience that someone
someone goes through.
we're going to go through.
Which, you were the lead actress in this film.
I was, yeah.
I was hoping that was you when I watched you walk in, because wow, how did you pull this role off? Especially the bathtub scene.
You don't look like a horrible serial killer.
Yeah, you don't look crazy.
Oh well, thank you. I've worked on that. I don't know. He's a really wonderful writer and director.
Well, let me just say that she saved the movie with the bathtub scene because.
Oh, I'm telling you, I was like, what is going on?
Well, that was always in the story, but I had it like directed. I had it storyboarded to be like 40 different shots that I was going to edit together, and we were ready to set it up. And she was like, "Let's just do it in one take," and I was like, "Okay." And she did it, and it was just like, I was like, okay. Now the movie works.
Yeah, we just hung out for a few days.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it was quiet, and it was intense, and it was disturbing, and you pulled it off without even blinking.
Oh, well, thank you.
Because she's quiet, intense, and disturbing.
I know, right?
And never blinks.
It was in my own bathtub, so.
Oh,
was it really?
Yeah.
So you're just at home. That's my bathtub.
Yeah.
I'm never going to be in this bathtub the same way again.
My dog's running around. I was like, fine. So just normal Tuesday. So.
How did you come up with the idea for this story?
You know, so I should probably tell my wife this, but so we.
This is not a way to start.
Let me back up.
We're on live TV, so just remember, they're watching.
No, so it's actually, and this is twisted also, but I have a 2-year-old, and it was the birth of my first child. That's actually, like, people talk about childbirth all the time, about this wonderful, beautiful thing that happens. It's messed up.
Oh, I'm telling you.
And I was like, and I knew that. Of course, everybody knows what really happens, but to see it and experience is traumatizing. And so I don't even think I realized that until halfway through we were making the movie. And then I was like, oh, this is kind of where this comes from.
I had never actually heard that.
Yeah.
That's really
Which I find funny when you bring up childbirth, because my wife had a C-section, and the doctor pulled him out. He's here, and I stand up, and there she's like flayed open like an alien. And I'm like, that is disgusting.
Did the baby actually look like a chest burster?
Yes, it did. The doctor pulled him out. It was the weirdest thing. So, yeah, I know exactly where you're coming from that.
No, I mean, it's amazing, but it's like, it's
Ew.
bizarre.
Yeah.
It's bizarre, like that this person comes out of another person.
You have to pull out a baby.
Yeah, the whole idea of it's a little frightening.
Yeah.
And so you got her really easily, but everyone else in the movie, maybe not really easily, but everyone else in the movie.
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Everyone else in the movie really worked off of your performance.
Oh, thanks.
What was that like, being like the key center that everyone's going to go off, especially in something like this with a tryst, and you got to, I
don't know. I feel like him and I, we talked a lot before, and we kind of did it together, I feel like, along the way. And we realized quickly some things didn't work and some things did. And I think that, every day it was a different person. So it was kind of I think it was easier for us because we were so used to our surroundings and what was happening and how it was going. I think the other people kind of got thrown into blood and crazy scenes, and so for us it was like a normal day where we were like pulling.
Wow, normal day, huh? Yeah, there we go.
It's a normal day.
I think about what a normal day is.
Yeah, exactly. So I think for them it was a little more. I think they had to come into our little clique that we made with.
Well,
this
here's the
movie.
big question: did they come back afterwards?
Well, they were all one-day shoots.
Yeah, they were all one day.
Fortunately, but they were all very, very supportive. And
how many days did it take you to do this?
I think we shot in like 5 days.
Really?
Yeah.
For the whole thing?
Yeah, I think.
And it was mostly in your house, I take it?
No, it was actually only the bathroom. Everyone, all of them were mainly in your house.
And kind of like around my neighborhood, and there were a lot of the stuff was shot. It was just me, Kara, and a camera. Mm-hmm. It was very stripped down, and then we had a dedicated sound guy who was there. But a lot of it was just like very intimate and like. One-on-one, and like Kara was talking about in terms of working through stuff and figuring it out. And
I mean, it was a great situation too, because if there was ever something that wasn't going right, it was easier for us just to kind of stop, because it wasn't like a whole crew. Yeah. So him and I could just kind of stop and talk about what was happening and why wasn't it working, or what we could do to fix it. So.
What was your budget for something like this?
It was It was like $3,000.
That's impressive.
Yeah. I mean, we only had a few people,
Yeah.
and we used locations that we had, like her bathroom and everything else.
Were those your tools?
No, they were not. Those were his.
Right. I supplied those.
She's like, those are my tools. We're getting out of this bathroom. So you took a very personal approach to this. Do you think you're going to continue to do more personal movies as you go forward?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure that I have a choice. I mean, I feel like a lot of people who make films almost don't have that choice. I mean, I was talking to somebody the other night who was kind of coming from a more kind of like, what kind of things do you have to do in a movie to make it marketable and attractive? And I kind of know what those things are, but I also find those crippling personally.
I think they're very
to think
crippling.
in those terms. Yeah. So I just, whatever is kind of, and as I said, like a lot of times I'll be working on something and I don't even really know until we're into it and figuring out the scene where
Where it's going to go
stuff
from there?
comes from. Yeah.
Well, you have made films before, right?
I have, yeah.
Were they nearly as intense, or
this
were
is
they
totally,
happy-go-lucky?
well,
or?
a lot of them are like dark, but this one is by far the most intense one.
So you like the dark film genre?
I guess that I do. I've even tried intentionally like to make a movie that only has a happy ending.
Put
You
puppets
just
in it.
fail at comedy, is what you're saying.
People are like, high-fiving at the end, but
Yeah!
in a freeze frame or something. But no, it didn't. Yeah.
Well, that seems to be a style that you can work and make work really, really well. Would you ever do like a straight-up horror film?
I certainly would try, but I am not as in touch with that genre enough. I feel like I would
See,
mess
I
it
feel
up
like
in some
someone
way.
that's doing what you're doing that isn't
Yeah.
as in touch with the genre would make a better horror film.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I'm not as personally into the ones who are like, look, this is our excuse for a bunch of special effects. I like the psychological horror much better, and I think you would do a good job with something like that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Although I do like explosions of blood everywhere.
Right,
Okay,
right.
I'm not gonna lie.
Hard to argue with
You
that.
put explosions in there, and I'll be good.
We cut that scene actually.
Yeah, I know.
The
Where she
explosion scene?
explodes
Oh!
at the end.
They exploded. That was it.
You would have had a blockbuster then.
Right, I know. We're
I
so
know, right?
close. I'll put that back in.
Method acting, that's right.
We'll see.
So what's next for you?
Nothing. I mean, I'm working on little stuff right now. I still live in New York, so he moved here to Austin. He left.
Oh, welcome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How
He
long have you
just
been in Austin?
moved.
July I got here.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you like it so far?
I love it so far.
It's
Yeah.
a great city
It's
to
quite
live
interesting.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I do, surprising as it is, I actually do a lot of comedy and improv.
I would not have been able to tell.
Totally-
It's
yeah.
not something. But
Yeah.
yeah, I still do film and TV and I love it. But yeah, right now I'm just kind of.
So when you're used to comedy and improv, was this role hard?
No, I mean, I started in this.
And
Like
you've killed
serious?
people before, so it's
Oh,
not
apparently
yeah, it's totally fine. Done this many times. No, I mean, I started in this. I've mainly done theater for most of my life, so this was kind of a new fun thing. I mean, we shot it not that long ago, but I guess like a while ago.
Year and a half.
Like a year and a half
Oh,
ago.
really?
So I mean, I've done other things since then, but yeah, right now, technically, I'm still kind of working on comedy and improv.
So do
Yeah.
you prefer comedy or do you prefer the dramatic? I'm going to do stuff in bathtub
I don't feel like
role?
you have to pick.
She's
I feel
really
like
good at
it's
both. So I mean, that's the nice thing is
feel
that
like
she
you
can
can do
switch
Well, I'd love
back
to
and
see you in
forth
some sort of
and-
comedy. Tell us a joke.
Oh well, that would take
no
all day.
pressure right there in the middle or something.
It has to be clean. That's the other
Right.
part. Well, I hope you guys have really good time at South by
Yeah.
Southwest.
Yeah,
I totally
thanks.
slurred my sentence there.
Well, thank you guys for coming
Yeah,
out,
thank
and best
you.
of luck with your screenings on it.
All right, thank you so much.
Thanks
You
And
guys
I
are
love the
awesome.
horses.
Hey, I'm from Texas, so this is me.
She's allowed to wear horses
bringing it
because she's from
back.
Texas.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's the.
Well, have a great week,
Thank
and
you.
hopefully we'll see more of you in the future.
Great.
All right,
Thank
you
you
too. Thank you.
Bye.